Hello there! As we are approaching the Star Wars holiday of May the 4th, I decided to pull a box out of storage because I want to see what's all in here. Are you ready for some old electronic coin banks and some VHS tapes? This box really does have a dandy mixture of all kinds of Star Wars stuff. There are two large electronic banks in here, featuring Darth Vader and our favorite droids. It also contains some old VHS tapes, bathroom accessories, Episode 1 toys, and a couple of Lego cases to store your Legos in, you know? Give me a second to get everything out of this box and organize it a bit. And I tell you what, while I'm doing that, why don't you take that second to like this video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate it when you do that. Thank you. Now, let's get the stuff out of here, shall we? Okay, let's take a look at the banks first, because these are some of the early things of when I really started to collect things outside of the action figures. And I'm kind of glad I kept these. I did have a couple of coin banks from the Phantom Menace, but I kind of sold those at a garage sale. Needed to clear out a little bit, and now I've gone way beyond that. But the first one here is the Darth Vader talking bank, the electronic talking bank. And according to the package here, it says, waving lightsaber with light and sound. Original voice and music from the soundtrack. Well, this is from 1995. And as you can probably see, I never opened it. It's still taped shut. So the question is, does it still work? Well, there's a button down here to try. Let's see what happens. Maybe it needs a battery replacement. Might have to open that up and maybe take the battery out before it goes too far, because you are supposed to be able to push it and something happens. Well, I did not pay regular price for this. This happened to be $24.99 originally. I got them priced for half, $12.49. I thought, hey, that's pretty good. Get a big Darth Vader. It was a talking bank. And I know the last time I tried this, it did work. But it's not working now. But as you can see, it is a really nice looking bank of Darth Vader. It has a pretty big base, as we can see here, so you can put a lot of coins in it. So, I was kind of happy to add that to the collection. Like I said, the other bank has our favorite droids, C-3PO and R2-D2. And as you can see there, it's a very good likeness of them. And according to the back of the box here, it says it has dialogue, music, and effects from the original soundtrack. Well, let's see if anything happens here on this one.
I am C-3PO, Human Cyborg Relations, and this is my counterpart, R2-D2.
Now, originally, R2-D2 came out. He kind of moved out toward the front of the bank and then moved back. And I think C-3PO's arms went up and down. Now, when I shake it, I can hear something's loose in there. Either that or somebody put a coin in there. But yeah, it's not working very well. And this one also still has the original tape on it, so it's never been opened. And what did I pay for this one? Well, it was on a little bit of a closeout. Looks like I paid $21.99 for it. So not bad. I kind of like these two banks. Kind of glad I have them as part of the collection. Just wish Darth Vader would work. But I guess he's not going to do it. You know, he can be fickle at times. So let's move these out of the side and we'll look at something else. Now, I said this had VHS tapes in it, and it does. The first one here is the Star Wars trilogy. Remember this when it came out? Everybody wanted this thing. It contains Star Wars A New Hope, Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, and Star Wars Return of the Jedi. The marketing on the box here looked pretty good. And the tapes are all individually packaged with some great pictures on the back. As we can see for A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Unfortunately, I don't have a VHS player set up anymore in my house. I do still have one, actually over there in the corner of the room. It's just not hooked up to anything. So I would be willing to bet I could probably still play these if I wanted to. But why play VHS when you have DVDs, Blu-ray, and streaming? But there's still a charm of having VHS, the movies on VHS. Now, these came out in 1995, if I remember right, so before the prequels came out. I'm not sure, but these might be the original movies, the original theatrical movies. If I'm incorrect, let me know. It's not the only VHS tape I've got here, though. I also have The Making of Star Wars, and this one is still wrapped. Never been opened. Now, it got me thinking, The Making of Star Wars. It seems to me there was a couple tapes over here that were part of the book selection, and one of them also happened to be The Making of Star Wars. So yes, I do have an opened one, and I do have one still in the wrap. The next one I have here is the VHS tape of From Star Wars to Jedi, The Making of the Trilogy, or The Making of a Saga, excuse me. Narrated by Mark Hamill. This one has been opened. I have never sat down and watched it, as far as I know, although it does look like somebody watched at least part of it. That one's making me think, you know what, I should really go back and see if I can find this somewhere online to maybe watch that again. From the looks of it, this came out in 1989. So this one's really old. I also, on the bookshelf back here, as long as I was talking VHS, I do have the widescreen version of The Phantom Menace, Episode 1, which I thought would be good to bring into the show, just because I do have some Episode 1 toys that we're going to be showing. Now, this one, I bet you most of you do not have as part of your collection of VHS tapes. Why? Because it's a fan-made film. Hardware Wars, the Special Edition. How many of you have seen the Hardware Wars fan film? This was an extremely low-budget film, basically using kitchen appliances as starships. And it was just kind of hilarious to watch it. Now, the suggested retail on this was $19.95, so 20 bucks. It had a special price when I bought it of $9.99, so I got it for 10 bucks. VHS tape. Even the tape has a nice Hardware Wars. Now, if I recall correctly, George Lucas kind of gave this a thumbs up. He thought it was pretty good for a cheap fan-made film. And it was probably one of the first ones. I think this one and Troops was the first fan-made films that I remember seeing anywhere. This came out in 1997. So, there again, a little bit on the old side. Now, I do have one more VHS tape to show, and it's a little bit of a special one. We said here we've got The Phantom Menace, but we also have The Phantom Menace Widescreen Collector's Edition. What makes this one a collector's edition? Well, when we open this one up, it's got stuff in here other than the tape. For example, $70 worth of coupons to get for different things. And as you can tell, I did not use these coupons to go get different things. We also have a booklet, The Art of Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And when we take a look at that, we can see some of the Gungan designs, some shots of Padme Amidala, and some great shots of the marketplace. All told, there is 48 pages in this booklet featuring some great artwork. So a nice little booklet to come along with the VHS tape. That's not the only thing though. There is also a bit of film from the movie. And when I hold it up to the light, it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames from the movie film. Unfortunately, my eyesight is not quite as good as it used to be, so I can't quite make out what scene these 5 frames are from. But I'm probably going to have to hold it up to a light and maybe get a magnifying glass nowadays to really see what this is. But it is a nice little feature to add to the tape. And of course, the inside of the box looks really sharp. The tape itself fits in a nice little compartment there. And basically, from the looks of it, is the same tape as what we have here. Even the back of the packaging is the same. So, got one tape by itself, but if you wanted to spend some extra money, you could get the whole kit and caboodle special edition with the coupons. So there is the widescreen collector's edition. Quite a selection of VHS tapes, wouldn't you say? Let me get these put to the side, and we're going to look at the next category of stuff. Okay, I said I had a couple of Lego cases, right? Yes, I do. So here we go. A Lego case featuring the X-Wing fighter and the Death Star in the background. Now, this is kind of neat. It's just kind of a bigger case just to throw your Legos in. This was normal price of $19.99. It was on sale for $5.98. I held out and got it even a little lower priced. Picked this up for $2.99. How do you like them apples? Now, that's just for the heck of it. Open this up and see what we actually have inside. And oh, that's nice. You've actually got a play scene inside of this thing to play with your various figures and so forth. But as you can see, it's just kind of one big open area, just somewhere to throw your stuff so you're not stepping on it in the middle of the night. I thought that was pretty cool. In fact, I thought it was so cool that yes, I did buy a second one. And the second one also came at $2.99. So I have a feeling maybe these were the last 2 in the store and I picked them up quick. Now, does it say what store I got them from? Oh, I actually got it from Goodwill. Amazing what you can find at Goodwill once in a while. That's why it was only $2.99. Couple nice cases there. Next, let's go over some bathroom accessories, shall we? For example, we have a tub mat. Yes, you could put this in your tub and be stepping on Star Wars. As we can see from the picture of the mat, it basically says Star Wars with different characters within the lettering. It does say slip resistant, so hopefully you don't fall down on top of Star Wars and have your own Death Star explosion. And here again, picked this up on sale, which is probably the only reason I picked it up. Got this for $5. I didn't think that was a bad price. By the way, this thing is 14.5 inches by 30 inches. So it's a pretty good sized mat. Of course, if we're going to have something for the shower, we better have a towel too to have. Dry ourselves off a little bit when we get out. Fairly simple towel as far as towels go. Not very big. But still, a nice little towel, especially when you can pick it up for only $4. You can't go wrong with Star Wars accessories for $4. The last thing I have here is a collection of Star Wars washcloths. And from the looks of it, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different washcloths in here. They're all 12 by 12 inches. The nice ribbon holding it together. Picked these up for $4.50, and I really don't want to take them out of the ribbon to see what they look like. But I do have washcloths to go with the tub mat and the towels. So not too bad there. Let's keep going, because I have some Episode 1 toys that you may or may not have as part of your collection. The first ones here are the little pistols that go along with it, or in this case, a battle droid rifle. Now these do have sound and a light. So let's see, these came from, must be around 1999 because, of course, it's Episode 1. Let's see if this old thing will still work. Hope you can hear that. So it does make sounds. And as you could see, the tip did light up. So not bad for a at least 25-year-old toy there. We also have the Battle Mauser. Let's see if this one works. A little hard to get to the... Okay, we got a little bit of a sound there. And the tip does light up, so not bad. 2 out of 3 seem to be working. The last one I have is the Naboo pistol. And as we can see, this looks pretty sharp. I like it. It looks more like a pistol than the other ones do. Let's see if this one works. Yes, it does. Quite a bit different sound than the other ones. So there are our 3 pistols that we were able to get as part of the collection. I could see kids having fun with these. I could see adults having fun with these. Now, not only do we have pistols, but some of you may like yo-yos. So how about a Star Wars Episode 1 yo-yo in the shape of the Trade Federation battleship? It is kind of a cool looking yo-yo. The regular price was $8.99. I picked this one up for $2.24. $2 1/4. Heck, hard to buy a bottle of pop for that. We also have a second one from Episode 1. And this one happens to be a Destroyer Droid yo-yo. Of course, the Destroyer Droid is all folded up here so he can roll away on you. But it still looks pretty cool. And from the looks of it, they do have flash and light effects. Both of them do. Now, these have never been opened. They're still sealed and everything. So, I wasn't much of a yo-yoer. But, you know, when I can pick them up nice and cheap, what the heck? I may as well add them to the collection, right? The last things in the box were calendars. So let's take a quick look at a few of these calendars. Here is the calendar from 2012. And as we look at the back here, you can see this one kind of features ships and vehicles from the Star Wars universe, including X-Wing fighters and AT-AT walkers, Star Destroyers, Naboo Starfighter, and the Death Star, of course. If we just open it up once and take a quick look, of course, this is a desk one, so you just kind of fold it over and set it down. But there's the Naboo fighter with the dates very small on the bottom. So big enough where you could use it on a desk, but not big enough where you're going to hang it on a wall and see the date. Even though it does have a little wall hanger here. So there, 2012 desk calendar. We also have the 2018 16-month calendar featuring some of our favorite characters and quotes that go along with them. For example, when we look at the back, we can see that it features our favorite Wookiee with the line, "It's not wise to upset a Wookiee." Darth Vader, Stormtrooper, Luke Skywalker, Lando Calrissian, Han, Leia, Obi-Wan, the droids, and more. Once again, sealed. Never opened it. I never hung this on the wall. We have the 2003 Heroes and Villains calendar. And this time, it looks like when we look on the back here, not only do we have various characters from the franchise, but we also have a description of each of those characters. So let's take a look at one of these and just see what they look like. Okay, here we have Princess Leia and Luke Skywalker. And yes, they have a very nice description of each one here with a couple of pictures. Now, I'm not sure if I hung this one up or not. After all, it's not wrapped. So I may have hung this one up on the wall. But 2003 was a long time ago. Don't remember if I did or not. I'm not done yet. Here we have the 2006 calendar. And this one happens to feature various scenes from the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. So, the complete saga, which is what it says across the top here. So, another nice calendar for the collection. And as you can see, this one kind of opened up a little bit, but not all the way. So this is another calendar that I never opened up and displayed in the house. The next one I really like. This one happens to come from 1997, the anniversary edition, 20-year anniversary. And the reason I really like that, if you can already see from the front, it features the posters from the movies. And as we look at the back, you can see all the different posters that are featured in this calendar, including ones we saw here in the States, and I have a feeling a couple of these might have been from some other countries. This one happened to be $11.99 as far as the price goes, which I thought, considering what you're getting here, that wasn't that bad. One more poster. This is the biggest one out of the batch. So there we have it. And this time we have the Art of Star Wars Comics. This is a 16-month poster for 2013. And I just love the front cover of this thing. Like I said, oversized. So this is going to look great. And when we see the back, you can see some of the greatest covers that are featured in this particular poster from the comic series, the Marvel Comics. I like the way that the posters feature over 3/4 of the page, but the bottom of the part where the dates are is still plenty big to see from. Like I said, this is huge. Just look at this one compared to your normal size poster. Quite a bit bigger. Well, there we have it. All the different things that are part of this particular box. I thought it would be fun just to take time and go through this, seeing that the anniversary of Star Wars is coming up. And we've got quite an anniversary with some of these products, I would say. What do you think of all this stuff? What do I have here? Junk? Or is it good stuff for the collection? You let me know in the comments below. What's your favorite? What do you think I should throw away? What would you like to have as part of your collection? I'm still glad that I've got the banks. I had thought at one point of getting rid of them because they're big, they're bulky, took up a lot of space. I bought these before I bought the house, so I was kind of limited with my area that I had to save things. But I do like all the different things that are in this box. In fact, there is one more thing that was in this box, but that is going to be the subject of the next video. Remember something called the Star Wars Fan Club? You're going to enjoy the next video. Well, that brings us to an end for this video. So, if you have enjoyed it, please hit that like button and let me know and everybody else know that you enjoyed this video. And of course, if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please hit that subscription bell and of course, hit the notifications bell. Well, until next time, may the Force be with you and keep collecting!